Hello, today it's July 28th, 2014. I'm going to try to make this a very quick update on a few things. I'm going to assume that you've been following my videos. So I want to bring up some things. I did a review on, when I started out with cell phone service, I started out with Sprint. And I moved from Kansas City with Sprint service to Orlando, Florida, and then I moved to Miami, Florida, I think it was. And I think that's when I started making. I had with Sprint nothing but problems with billing, nothing but problems with it. I switched to, I want to say Best Buy. That's not it. Okay, I've got Virgin Mobile now. What's the other one that pay as you go or whatever? Anyway, I had that service and I was happy with it. And then I went and have been for years with Virgin Mobile. I'm very happy. They're not for everybody. I just have the $35 plan that gives me, you know, everything, data, I don't want to do anything on my cell phone. I mean, I do just if I have to do something, I do it. But I don't want to be surfing the internet or anything like that, and unless I'm out and I want to find some data or some information. But it's I pay $35 a month, unlimited data, 300 minutes a month for phone calls, and there's some months I don't use any minutes, and there's some months that probably the average is I use 5 minutes. I'm just not, so. But for me, that's fine. The other thing is the cell phone here, HTC 3D cell phone. I did a review on it, and you may remember if you watched my videos, which you better be watching my videos. Don't make me get up. I'm okay. I'll take my medicine here in a little bit. One time I was actually dating a book came out, Classified Love. Was it Classified Love? Written by a woman. I heard her on the Larry King show interviewed. I was divorced, by the way. I was married 12 years and was faithful to my wife the entire time. But I was divorced, and the Classified Love, I think, was the name of the book. And it talked about dating. This might have been before, it was before the World Wide Web was invented, so it was before 1995. But I started running classified ads and meeting women, and I've told this story, I think, before on one or more of my videos. It had nothing to do with it because they hadn't seen me. They didn't know me. All they were going by was, white male, however old I was, 50s or whatever. So it had nothing to do with but I had 100 women on my list, and I would talk to them on the telephone, and, I was looking at any way I can to, of course, I kept running the ads. That was stupidity on my part, but I never did a lot of dating when I was young, and so anyway, I had all these women, and I was signing up, putting on my list, So I was looking for anything in the world to eliminate it when I talked to them. And I was talking to one, and I said something, and she said, I was joking around with her, and then she said, I don't know about you're kind of scaring me now. I said, oh, let me tell you that my psychiatrist says that I'm perfectly normal and perfectly safe. And she says, maybe we're better. I said, oh, okay, and scratched her off my list. Anyway, how did I get into that little story? I cannot remember now what led me to get into that story, but Anyway, okay. You remember I bought the supersized battery for this thing. I forget, what is it, 3,000 milliamps or whatever. I did the review of it. It's great. You know, the phone goes for a couple days or 3 days. The battery lasts forever. And the battery has held up on me. It's been great. Now, there was twice, I hadn't had the battery for very long, and it didn't look like it was it was depleting too quick. And I looked for applications that were running in the background, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, man, the battery already went bad. And I did a hard reset of it, or maybe I did first a soft reset. And it seemed like that problem happened again. I did a hard reset of the system, and no problem since. So if you happen to have the large battery for this or some other cell phone, you do the same thing. If you think the battery went bad on you, don't just toss it. Check and make sure that, you know. So I'm very happy with that. I've done I've done a lot of reviews, but I did a review. How many have I done? A company sent me light bulbs, LED light bulbs to review. And I reviewed, I think that's the only one I did for the company. They sent me another one, but I don't have any fixture. I have a overhead fan, and it uses the smaller, and I forget if this is an L12 or an L14 or what, but and I haven't been able to review because I don't have, the socket is slightly different. And you can buy adapters, but I think they sell 10 or 12 of them for $3 or $4, and I don't want to do that. So I right now cannot review this, and the company probably will not send me any more to be reviewed. I have a company that's going to send me 3 or 4 items to be reviewed. Nothing spectacular, and maybe nothing you'll be interested in. Outdoor LED solar-powered lights. What else? Anyway, a few of those things. So when I get it, I'll do the review. When I do the reviews, the fact that they send it to me for free and that I get to keep it, it doesn't have anything to do with the review. I can't be bought that cheap. Now, I probably could be bribed and whatever if you'd send me a fancy, a television set, a new fancy computer or something. That could probably be bought. Just keep that in mind. But for these little items, which I don't really, need it, I'm honest. What else? Since it's sitting here, I love this licorice. It's more expensive than the average licorice that you get, but I really like it. When I eat licorice though, I put this over there. I just had a couple because I got to take it in the other room, or else I will sit and eat all the licorice, and that's not good. Okay, we're coming up on. Oh, I know what I wanted to mention, and then I signed back up for Hulu Plus. I do not have a television hooked up for over-the-air television. I don't pay for cable TV, so all I have is the internet. And I, in the past, have been signed up for Hulu Plus, and I am signed up for Netflix. I use Netflix all the time. Hulu Plus I canceled a couple months ago just to show you how poor it is, how poor I am. Just to save $8, I canceled it for a couple months. Netflix and Hulu, and I just signed back up today. I told them to turn it back on. Netflix, I love them, and Hulu Plus, I love them. And one reason I love them is because if you want to put your account on hold or whatever. You can do that when you go back. You just log in and say, hey, turn it back on, and there's no, when you try to, if you try to do that or whatever, they don't try to talk you out of it. They, it's, so I'm signed back up for Hulu Plus. I just signed up. I haven't used them yet. You've heard of Uber, the share ride service or whatever, sort of like a taxi. I'm not supposed to say it. I don't think you're supposed to say taxi because, uh, they don't have taxi licenses, and there's a lot of debate. I heard the company, those services are, it's sort of a ride share, the private individuals using his vehicle as a ride service, and, you use an app. I just signed up. I signed up for one in the past, and I don't think I used it. That might have been Uber. And I just signed up the other day with Lyft. And so I'll probably be using it since I don't have a car. And nobody in our family here has a car. I really can't. I'm on a very limited income. There's no way I could afford to have a car. If I was given if one of these people want to give me a car to review, sorry, I couldn't do it because, it's not a car payment. It's not, it would be anything, even buying gas, any kind of, taxes and insurance. I couldn't afford it. My limited income is enough to feed me and give me air conditioning and internet service, and there's nothing extra. So anyway, I've signed up for this, and I'll do a little on my blog. If you read my blog or whatever, I put some videos. There's a guy who's using Uber who says he's making $100,000 a year as a driver, and I put some videos on my blog about from a couple of different drivers talking about the good and the bad. And it looks like most of them, that's smart. The drivers are signed up with Uber and signed up with Lyft. So they got their, cell phones there, and if a call comes in, they take it and handle it. I like that idea because what I like about it is I had a few jobs in the past that one was this 2000 census. You really had, the census taker, you had you could decide when you wanted, what area you wanted to go to, that you were given, what area you wanted to go to. Did you want to do it in the morning? Did you want to do it in the afternoon? You want to do it in the evening because you don't want to go too late, and I had a few other jobs like that in the past, and I love that. And if you're looking for work, if you have a car, I think it has to be 2005 or later. It has to be a four-door car. I mean, it's got to be clean and it's got to smell good, and you have to have a good driving, everything. But I really like the idea of, if you want to play video games all night, that's fine. If you wake up at noon and you can go, and if you go out and then something comes up, you got to pick your kid up at daycare center or whatever. If you're a driver, you just, log out and do what you need to do. Then you can log back in. That's something to look into. And it looks like, like this Lyft service is, Uber is in a whole bunch of places, and so is Lyft, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Fort Worth, my old hometown of Kansas City, Missouri. So, okay, now I'm up to 15 minutes, so I'm going to say thanks for watching the video, and I will be back soon. You can't get rid of me easy. Now I should come up with something. I'm sort of like what would that be? A bad penny. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, need to come up with something. A cliche, is that what they call it? Thanks for watching.